So Moses says to Joshua, take the people into the land of Canaan. And Joshua's like, okay, cool. I got this covered. And then he doesn't leave a successor. Oops. It's basically supposed to span the period that is from the time of Moses and Joshua until the time when the monarchy has been established in Israel. So we don't have a king, but we also don't have Moses or Joshua. So Joshua dies, doesn't leave a successor, and then we have this span of such and such years where everything is chaos, and occasionally somebody has a little war and things are quiet for a little bit, and then the chaos starts again, and it gets worse and worse and worse until the climax of the book. So he takes them into the land of Canaan, and he leads them in all of their battles, and he's a pretty good war strategist, so he more or less knows what he's doing. There are these very impressive descriptions of all the battles and all the miracles and talking to God and whatever. You can look at my review of the book of Joshua for that. He divides up the land of Israel among the tribes very nicely, and then he doesn't leave a successor. So naturally what follows is complete chaos, and this refrain that we see in the book of Judges, which is basically everyone just does whatever they want, each unto themselves, which is not really presented as a good thing. It's kind of like variations on a theme. There's sort of this refrain, right? It's sort of a cycle. You start with everyone does whatever they want, and then some foreign nation comes in and takes over, and the Israelites are in trouble, and then the Israelites cry out unto the Lord, and God hears them, and God sends them a judge. And the judge is some character with some kind of charisma and spiritual leadership skills, and the judge leads them in a war, and they win the war, and there's some kind of a peace timeline. So it's like 10 years or 20 years or 40 years, and in the best case, 80 years of peace. And then it starts all over again. There's some pretty wacky characters and some pretty cool stories. Some of them are really fun to read. I mean, the story with Ehud ben Gera is definitely fun. He sneaks in to the private chambers of the king of Moab with a double-edged sword, which was pretty revolutionary back in that time, because he's left-handed, and so the security guard doesn't think to check his right pocket. Damn. Gideon straight up demands that God send him proof of his presence. Like, that's pretty cool. Obviously, I'm all about the story with Deborah as a judge, and the battle that is led by Barak ben Abinoam, and the story of Yael and Sisera, which I wrote about. So that's probably my favorite part of the book of Judges, because it's just, so dramatic and beautiful, and there's all this feminism, and it's just like, it's a good story, good read. The book ends on like the worst cliffhanger ever. It's the most horrific story probably in the entire Old Testament. There's just a description of a brutal, violent gang rape murder, and it's supposed to show, how bad things are in the state, and it's really, really nasty, and it just ends. It's like, everything's fucked. See y'all in the next book. And then you turn the page, and then it's the book of Samuel. What? What happens? Everything is fucked.